Donald Trump's unraveling is no longer a whisper. It's a scream, amplified by sharp Democratic voices, and, astonishingly, by Fox News itself. From Gavin Newsom's savage mockery to Bernie Sanders' unflinching truth-telling, Democrats are seizing the narrative, exposing Trump's cognitive and physical decline, his failed promises, and the crumbling facade of his MAGA empire. The former president, once a blustering force, now stumbles through incoherent rants and lies, humiliated on his own propaganda network. Let's dive into how Democrats are turning the tables, using Fox's airwaves to spotlight Trump's weaknesses and the chaos of his leadership. The signs of Donald Trump's decline are impossible to ignore, and Democrats are making sure no one can look away. Gavin Newsom, California's sharp-witted governor, has taken the fight directly to Trump's doorstep, using satire and social media to expose the former president's mental frailty. In a brilliant move, Newsom posted on X, asking Grok, the AI on Elon Musk's platform, "Do people with dementia repeat false things over and over again?" The response was a blunt yes, a direct jab at Trump's endless loop of debunked claims, like his bizarre obsession with California's water policies. This wasn't just a clever quip. It was a strategic strike that forced Fox News to discuss Trump's cognitive health on air, a topic they'd rather bury under a pile of MAGA talking points. Fox News, the self-proclaimed fortress of conservative spin, couldn't resist taking the bait. Host Jessica Tarlov, a rare liberal voice on the network, praised Newsom's approach, noting that he's not imitating Trump, but holding up a mirror to his absurdity. She called out Trump's marathon, North Korean-style cabinet meetings, where sycophants shower him with praise, rather than challenge his incoherent ideas. Tarlov's point was clear. Newsom's mockery exposes Trump as a ridiculous figure, a man so lost in his own delusions that he can't see the laughter directed at him. This moment was a masterclass in political jiu-jitsu, using Fox's platform to amplify Democratic messaging, turning Trump's own propaganda machine against him. Trump's mental stumbles are not just a talking point, they're a glaring reality. His speeches are a chaotic jumble of half-formed thoughts, from rambling about Hannibal Lecter to repeating debunked lies about election fraud. Newsom's X post wasn't just a troll. It was a calculated move to force the conversation into the mainstream, making it impossible for even Fox's loyal viewers to ignore the truth. Trump is not the strongman he pretends to be. He's a confused, fading figure, clinging to a persona that no longer fits. Democrats, led by Newsom's audacity, are ensuring this image of a weakened Trump dominates the narrative. Trump's campaign promises are collapsing under the weight of his own failures, particularly on crime, a cornerstone of his tough guy image. Newsom didn't stop at mocking Trump's mental state. He went after the former president's hypocrisy on crime, using cold, hard facts to dismantle MAGA's narrative. Pointing to red states like Louisiana and Mississippi, Newsom highlighted their sky-high murder rates. Louisiana's is nearly 4 times California's, and Mississippi leads the nation with a murder rate 180% higher than Los Angeles. These aren't just numbers. They're a damning indictment of Trump's inability to deliver on his promise to make America safe. The irony is delicious. Trump and his allies love to paint blue cities as crime-ridden cesspools, yet it's their own backyard. Red states under Republican control that's drowning in violence. Newsom's trolling exposed this hypocrisy with surgical precision, daring Trump to address the unconscionable wave of violence in states like Mississippi. He even suggested Trump deploy the National Guard to these red state strongholds, a sarcastic jab that underscores the former president's inaction. This isn't leadership. It's a corrupt, dysfunctional mess, and Newsom is making sure everyone sees it. Fox News, caught off guard, couldn't spin their way out of this one. By airing Newsom's comments, they inadvertently gave Democrats a platform to highlight Trump's failures. The former president's silence on red state crime rates speaks volumes. He can't confront the truth because it undermines his entire narrative. Instead, he doubles down on lies, blaming blue cities while ignoring the data that shows crime persists, even when urban areas are excluded. This is Trump at his weakest, a man who can't face reality, let alone govern effectively. The MAGA movement, once a roaring force, is now a cult of denial, blindly worshiping a leader who's falling apart before their eyes. Newsom's mockery isn't just about Trump. It's about exposing the absurdity of his followers' loyalty. He called out the Republican snowflakes who clutch their pearls at any criticism, unable to handle the mirror Newsom holds up to their leader's ridiculousness. These are the same people who cheer Trump's all-caps rants on Truth Social, ignoring the incoherence and embracing the chaos as strength. It's a delusion so deep it borders on parody. Fox News, the MAGA megaphone, is complicit in this farce. Their hosts, who thrive on outrage, can't handle Newsom's satirical approach because it forces them to confront uncomfortable truths. When Tarlov praised Newsom for highlighting Trump's 3.5-hour-long North Korean-style cabinet meetings, she was pointing out the emperor's lack of clothes. These meetings, filled with fawning praise rather than substantive discussion, are a perfect metaphor for Trump's leadership. All bluster, no substance. Yet MAGA clings to this image of strength, unable to see the humiliation unfolding before them. This blind devotion is what makes Trump's decline so tragic, and so ripe for Democratic exploitation. Newsom's strategy is clear. Don't just call out Trump's lies, but make his supporters feel the sting of their own absurdity. By getting Fox to discuss Trump's cognitive decline, Democrats are planting seeds of doubt in the minds of even the most loyal viewers. It's a slow burn, but it's working. Each quip, each viral post, chips away at the myth of Trump's invincibility. While Newsom wields satire, Bernie Sanders brings raw, unfiltered truth to the fight. The Vermont senator has never been one for talking points, and his recent takedown of Trump's healthcare policies is a masterclass in authentic communication. Sanders called out Trump and his Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert Kennedy, for wreaking havoc on an already broken healthcare system. He didn't mince words. Trump's big, beautiful bill would throw 15 million people off their healthcare, gut Medicaid, and shutter nursing homes, community health centers, and hospitals nationwide. Sanders' outrage is palpable, and that's what makes it effective. Unlike the polished, stage-managed talking points of too many Democrats, Sanders speaks like a real person, angry, direct, and unafraid to call out nonsense. He took aim at Kennedy's firing of CDC head Dr. Susan Mons, who was sacked for refusing to endorse anti-vaccine conspiracy theories. In a fiery rebuke, Sanders declared, "Vaccines are safe and effective," backing his words with the overwhelming consensus of the medical community, from the American Academy of Pediatrics to the World Health Organization. This isn't just policy talk. It's a moral stand against Trump's dangerous anti-science agenda. What makes Sanders so effective is his consistency. For decades, he's been calling out the billionaire class and their enablers, and his message never wavers. Whether he's talking about healthcare, wealth inequality, or corporate greed, Sanders' authenticity resonates because it's rooted in undeniable values. He doesn't need to script his outrage or rehearse his passion. It's real, and people feel it. Democrats would do well to take a page from his book. Stop worrying about saying the wrong thing and start speaking the truth, even if it's messy. The success of Newsom and Sanders points to a broader strategy Democrats must embrace: insanity immersion. This approach, as Newsom's ex-posts and Sanders' fiery speeches demonstrate, is about meeting MAGA on their own turf, social media, Fox News, and the chaotic public square, and outmaneuvering them with bold, authentic communication. Too many Democrats are paralyzed by the fear of misspeaking or offending someone, but that caution is a losing strategy. As Newsom showed by getting Fox to discuss Trump's dementia, and as Sanders proves with every unscripted rant, real talk breaks through the noise. Take Representative Jasmine Crockett as another example. Her willingness to call Texas Governor Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels might make establishment Democrats clutch their pearls, but it's exactly the kind of bold, memorable rhetoric that gets attention. Crockett's viral moments don't just mock Abbott, they tie his failures to Trump's broader agenda, like stealing votes from marginalized communities to prop up a flailing Republican Party. When Fox plays these clips, they're not just airing a soundbite. They're amplifying a narrative that paints Trump and his allies as weak, corrupt, and out of touch. This is the power of insanity immersion, using the enemy's platforms to expose their flaws. Newsom's trolling, Sanders' truth-telling, and Crockett's fearless jabs all share a common thread. They're unafraid to be messy, to take risks, and to speak directly to people's frustrations. Democrats who cling to safe, sanitized talking points will never break through the MAGA bubble. But those who embrace authenticity, even at the risk of a misstep, are the ones who will shape the narrative and humiliate Trump's crumbling empire. The irony of Fox News airing discussions about Trump's cognitive decline and red state failures is almost too perfect. The network, built on propping up Republican narratives, has become an unwitting ally in exposing Trump's weaknesses. By giving airtime to Newsom's mockery and Sanders' critiques, Fox is amplifying the very messages MAGA wants to suppress. This isn't because Fox has suddenly grown a conscience. It's because Democrats are playing the game smarter, forcing the network to cover stories they can't ignore. Every time Fox hosts discuss Newsom's ex-posts or Sanders' healthcare takedowns, they're handing Democrats a megaphone. The MAGA base might scoff, but the cracks are showing. Viewers who once saw Trump as an unstoppable force are now confronted with images of a confused, faltering man, mocked by his opponents and unable to respond coherently. This is humiliation on a grand scale, not just of Trump, but of the entire MAGA mythos that portrays him as a savior.